Welcome back to another episode of Piranha Motorsports. Today we are going to the National Motor Museum in Birdwood. First cab off the rank, a Jag. She probably won't be too much of a long episode today, but we will take you for a bit of a look around in here. Imagine doing a burnout one of them. (1932) Delage, imported new to Melbourne. This expensive and powerful 4-litre 8-cylinder sports car has been deemed to be among France's finest cars. The Hudson 8, 1935. You can tell the difference. I mean, there's only 3 years difference between the two cars, but this one has like swooping guards into running boards, into swooping guards, a little bit more rounded. You can tell as they were changing between styles and how much things were changing in a short amount of time with cars.
Is there a limit on tickets you can buy?
Geez, they're tiny, aren't they? They're tiny. Oh, speaking of tiny. Austin 7. Now, it's a Bugatti. I can't ever say I've actually seen a Bugatti.
Not up this place, no.
Then they're smaller than I was expecting. (2008) Bugatti Veyron. Oh, and they're both Bugattis. 1927 and a 2008. Yeah. They've gone from one size of a windscreen to another size of a windscreen. I'm not too keen on the wheels. It's probably about the only thing that I'm not really too keen on. The rest of it's pretty cool, different. But I suppose it is a 2008. Styling's changed a lot since then.
Top speed at 470 kilometres per hour.
Is that all?
1,001 horsepower. 0 to 100 in 2.5 seconds.
It's actually an original service station. No, it's the original one. Saved from the wreckers' hammers. Wrecking hammer. They've actually pulled it apart and put it inside here. That's pretty cool. That's a Statesman. It's actually a left-hand drive Statesman, so that's a export model Caprice.
Didn't make it to America.
You can see the steering wheel's on the wrong side of the car.
Middle East.
Yeah, single post hoist.
Ute.
Mm.
50 believe it.
Yeah.
52.
Oh yeah.
Squirrel on them.
Mm. Yeah, it wasn't here.
50.
Okay.
Start the boiler on back and get us up to temperature. Most people ain't bloody mad about the sidecar. Throw the family in it. Big roads in the old days.
Yeah.
My dad up everywhere. Moving house.
Yeah. Not entirely sure that any car left unused for the amount of time that something like this thing has been of current manufacturing is still going to look anywhere near as good as this thing does after the amount of time it's sat sitting. I think it might be a pile of goop on the ground. Royal Mail.
Untold stories of what Tom did. Sure, Tom's not here, but the story never died.
Oof. 48,215.
Never used to stop. Has a trailer attached and most economical and reliable.
The early carriers were inventive. They needed to be. Harry Ding salvaged the rear axles and transmission of this wrecked Thornycroft and fitted them to the Leyland Badger in 1939. This made it a better truck for outback conditions. Four-wheel drive vehicles for most were still a way off.
The great thing is having the Thornycroft back end in it, which I would say, well, you probably said 2-inch axle.
Well, I've just walked out into this hall and absolutely lost my shit. There is some cars in this hall that are literally the definition of a Holden man's dream, and this is not one of them. But it is a Harnett prototype 1948. Whew. I can't wait to get over to them cars. 48,215 number 1 Holden. First saleable Holden. I'm pretty sure the concept one is actually in the National Museum in Canberra from memory. So the one that they did that actually ended up, I'm pretty sure from memory, reading the board on it, it actually was sent across to America as part of the promotional deal or trying to get funding and stuff ready for getting the car.
The Cooley brothers.
Yeah.
I'll send it to the boys
Yeah.
over here.
Oh, I'm not going to look over there yet. There's enough on this side to have to look at. (1962) EJ Premier. The 1 millionth Holden produced October 25th, 1962. They had made 1 million Holdens. And that's the car. There you go. The 2 millionth Holden. So they made 1 million Holdens between 1962 and 1969. There you go. HK Brome. Oh, now that's a colour combination I've never seen before. This is the 4 millionth car, 1982 VC Commodore SLE. That's a colour combo I have never seen before. It's a 6-cylinder SLE too. Could have been a V8 one, for God's sake. Got a little SLE wipers on the headlights, wraparound bumpers, the two-tone paint job. The door's ajar, guys, and you're going to need to close that if you're here at the museum, because otherwise the light will drain the battery. Just letting you know. This one is a 2001 VX Commodore SS. This is the 6th millionth Holden car ever made. There's a manual one too. There you go. Holden's 7th million car. Just a VE Commodore, nothing special. They could have made it be a. It's even a dual fuel LPG one, 60th anniversary Commodore. They could have made it be an SS or something. To be something special for the 7th million car. But the last Commodore ever made. Last Holden. Whew. At least they made it a decent one. VF Series 2 Commodore Redline SSV 6-speed manual. Do you reckon they'd mind if I took it? Although there's a couple of other cars in here that I'm pretty sure I'd take in front of it, but I'm still not going to say no. Still got the sticker on the back window, so obviously the car and the plastic on the seats, everything. She probably hasn't got very many kilometres on it at all, I'd say. Well, there's your run of Holdens down this side here. Now, I think we're ready. Well, this is going to be a little quick walk around what I've just had to walk through myself because I've had to take it in. But there's some cars here I never thought I'd ever see. This one is the 1970 Tirana GTR X concept car. So this is what they concepted instead of what we actually ended up getting. 1970, we were getting the LC. Looks remarkably different. This thing has a 186 with a 4-speed in it. Doesn't say what sort of 4-speed though, but very interesting car. Very cool. This one is the Concept Monaro. A few unique differences I noticed between this one and what we ended up getting. Obviously, to start with, it's got a VTSS front bumper. Side skirts and rear bumper are very much VTSS. It's got some of the upgraded brakes, which we didn't end up seeing until probably into the 2000s, and not on the Monaro, that particular style. Colour's wicked. I'm pretty sure that's, doesn't actually say, but it's the blue black, which I think was Raven mica. Incredible. This one's cool. This is the 427 HRT concept. This is full race car. Has everything done to it on the motor wise. Notice that it even got water ports coming directly off the water pump and that feeds into different sections on the motor. So it's getting a water feed directly to areas obviously that they know was lacking in some water or water flow, and they've got, that's pretty cool. Full race, like AP racing brakes, and it's got stereo blank off, racing seats, full row cage with a rear seat delete. It's pretty cool. That's awesome. This one was cool. The SSX, so the all-wheel drive sedan hatch, which was cool. There was a couple of little things I noticed on this one when I was walking around. They've gone with the factory style wheel, but they've widened them, or dished them a little bit for the all-wheel drive, which was pretty cool. I'm not sure why they've gone so wide. I don't know if it must have been, it's a concept in the end, just to fit the all-wheel drive in, but the all-wheel drive wasn't wider, so they must have just done it to fill the wheel arches. But of course it's the center console goes all the way down through, the front back seat folds, and it's a hatchback, so everything from here hinges right up. Fuel filler flap up the top, and then I did notice a center exhaust exit, which looks kind of dorky with that, the way it is there, but that's where the fuel tank is. So I'm not sure what they've done with the fuel tank. Obviously the filler's up here on the quarter panel. I'm not getting down on my hands and knees to look, but I did get down there a little bit. The rear diffuser seems to be quite active. on it, so I'm not sure what they did with the fuel tank. Maybe they've gone one small one either side with a bridging pump or something. Not sure. Interesting. Different guards. Marilyn Monaro Cabriolet. Pretty cool. Convertible. The only thing I didn't really like too much about this is the way that they've just capped off the B pillars. Obviously you've got to have some strength for the seat belts, but it just looks a bit dorky. But obviously it's only a concept car, so it never really got any further than that. Cool colour. This is the car I think probably could have saved Holden if it was ever meant to be saved. It didn't have to be a twin turboed V6 version, obviously, and bright pink with a moonroof and that sort of interior, but if they manufactured something along these lines instead of a imported Holden Cruise, and they actually manufactured it here at the Elizabeth plant instead of in Thailand or wherever the hell they decided to make them, and badged them as a Holden, probably would have been a good small market car. It's wicked. I love that colour. Stands out like crazy. Holden's last ever concept car, the Coupe 60. This is a freaking wild piece of gear. Side exit exhaust. It's got a wider track to fill the wheel arches, and it's got the single wheel nut in the middle, so it's got like the V8 supercar stuff on it. Pretty cool front splitter. This one here is the Utester. Really weird. Not really too much of a fan, to be honest. It's got a full retractable roof, and a split rear tub light cover. Bit different. Obviously we all know the yellow. That particular yellow did come out on the Holden. So the Sandman, in conjunction with Mambo, surf manufacturer. This thing's pretty cool. Obviously it's a shame they didn't actually bring them out. It turns out you could actually get the Sandman tonneau cover, the hard cover, sorry, from Holden as a genuine product. I'm not sure if I didn't even know that, which, I mean, there's pretty few people watching this that are probably going to turn around and say, of course I did, but I knew you can get them aftermarket, but I didn't realise that they were a genuine Holden product. Obviously you're not going to have the rear window delete to that degree anyway. But the other thing I did also notice while I was walking around looking at this thing was on the plaque board it says 5.7 litre Gen 3 V8 with a 5-speed manual. Well, obviously we all know that they come with the T56 in them. Now, there was a 5-speed option with that style of gearbox, but I don't know if they went and put that in this just as something different, but we didn't get them in as a street car with a 5-speed manual. So that's a little bit interesting. Either that or someone's made a typo. Yeah, this thing's, it's just a VXSS Ute in the end with the roof cut off pretty much. Looks like it's got some interesting stitching, and the center console goes up through and into the back and moulds in. Back window is completely gone. Oh, it's there, but it's like a huge back window rather than the little one that we got. The back of the Coupe 60. The Tirana, very, very VE inspired. Obviously it's like a small version of the VE. Literally. Don't know why they couldn't have done that. Didn't have to be to this degree, obviously, but even the interior is just like a mini VE, except for the center console, obviously. Pretty cool. So I will go back around the other side. A couple more to go on the concept cars. Okay, the piece de resistance. Effigy. I had no idea you were here, beautiful girl. But what a car. Every single place you look at on this car is 100% custom made. Like, these are full machine dished wheels, one piece. Even the side mirror is actually moulded, so it's made out of one piece to go in the trim all the way down the door. One piece. That from here all the way around the top and back into here, all one piece. All made out of billet aluminium. Crazy. Interior is spotless. No wonder why this car won so many awards and was world renowned. Same deal on the front. All one piece. The whole front grille, not made up of about 20 different pieces and pieced together. One piece. Supercharged 6-litre 4-speed automatic. Wonder if it got a 4L slippy. And of course you go from one to another. The Hurricane. This thing is incredible. Way, way before its time. 1969. Now we're talking about concept cars. This is 1969, right? Fiberglass, and some of the things that this thing's got in it is pretty wild. But then you turn the corner and go back over here. This one was 1970. This thing's still steel bumper, steel body, 186, all the bits and pieces. But that's older than this one. That's newer than this thing. This thing is so futuristic and ahead of its time, is absolutely crazy. It has everything. 253 Holden V8, so 253 cubic inches of Holden V8. And a transaxle, 4-speed manual transaxle. This thing has everything from GPS and a heads-up digital display. It has a rear park camera. Like 1969. Some of these options didn't come out in cars until the 2000s, for God's sake. Even some cars now don't even have them. This thing was I'm not entirely sure of the full story of it, but I do remember that it was misplaced at some stage, whatever happened to it, and they ended up finding it in a barn, completely non-existent of its current look, and was stripped back and started from scratch, and they've fully rebuilt it back to its former glory. I did notice by having a look, there's a slideshow thing in here that you can flick through. In its early days, its testing days, it didn't seem to have the metallic paint. It did not have the black stripes down the side. Even the early concept drawings of this thing gave it with big rear wheel arches. It had a different style scoop at the back windows here. Just a few little finer points that were completely different, obviously. And that's the thing about a concept car, is nothing stays the same. They end up changing it, but yeah, quite some differences. The wheel arches was an interesting one. The fact that they had them in the early drawings, but they're completely gone in the actual concept car. Cool. Alright, well that's it for the concept cars. I'm going to have another look around and I'll take you for a bit more of a look. Yep. Interesting. Bigfoot. Look at that, eh? Bigfoot 4x4, 1980. It's a Mad Max film prop. Beyond Thunderdome she was in. Jeez, they made some crazy things for that movie, didn't they? Ooh. What is it? Forza? Go on. Well, that brought back some memories. Whew. That was good fun. Truck, Formula Brabham. There's another pavilion up here, so I might go for a walk up there first before we make our way around to that side there, but that's looking good. No. This must be different. This is different than last time we were here. They are absolutely crammed in here. So we'll make our way wandering around. I think this video might be a little bit longer than I was expecting it to be. Might have to put a little bit on fast forward. Some of the cars that, you know, I can't do that because then there's some that appeal to others. 1900, 1907, 1913, 1914, 1919, Lincoln. These are all in order. By the looks of things, 1923, Ford. 1924, Summit. 1925 Chick Roadster. 1926 Chrysler. 1927 Clino. Yeah, these all seem to be privately owned vehicles versus concept cars and stuff. 1921 Dodge Buckboard. That's a pretty cool looking rig. Packard 1925. Look at the size of this monster. Chevy delivery van. Look at the size of it compared to all the rest of the cars. 1935, 1925 Hudson Super 6. 1928 Dodge Series 128 Fast 4. 1934 Ford Coupe Utility Hot Rod. Hills Hoist Rotary Clotheslines. Looks like it might have been a Hills Hoist delivery van, putting your Hills Hoist up in your backyard. Some of which probably still spinning. Sanctioned display. This former Australian Army vehicle was purchased at the 1948 War Surplus auction in Alice Springs by Hills Industries. Yeah, okay. It railed to Adelaide and refitted as a service vehicle, then operated in Sydney Air until the 1960s, returned to Adelaide and stored for many years prior to full restoration. 3.5 litre V8. That's a pretty cool story. Chevy sedan. Oh, looks like we might be in for the Valiant guys. Shoes love squeaking their guts out in here. Oh, there's some barrel fans over there. We'll get over there shortly. Two-door hardtop. Chrysler. Sigma. TP Magna Elite. I'm sure it's Elite too. Absolutely positive it's a Elite. Diamante wagon prototype for left-hand drive vehicles. Versions of the Magna exported to the United States and to Europe. There you go. That's a left-hand drive Magna station wagon. $380. Who can remember these things? I remember when they were released, brand new. It was all over TV. There was billboards of this masked up vehicle that was going to change the world and change the game forever, about mid-sized vehicles, and next minute, nothing. Ford Angular, Ford Prefect, Ford Cortina. Look at the station wagon. We must be in Ford Alley over here. Look at the laser. You've got to be joking me. Whew. Fords aren't as big a thing here in Adelaide as what Holdens were. XR, X-White Falcon 500 GS. 1982 Ford XD Fairmont gear. Another Ford Cortina. 2-litre 4-cylinder. Check this out, Toyota Prius. What a vehicle to have inside a car museum. Hybrid. That's flash, that is. Toyota Crown. You have a Corona. Station wagon. A Toyota Tiara. There you go. VW Beetle. Oof. What happened to this bad girl? Crash test car. It's a 1996 Mitsubishi Diamante crash test vehicle. This is subject to a front end impact 70-metre indoor test track. It doesn't say how fast it was going, but by the look of that, probably not very fast. Fast enough to do a small amount of damage. Looks like I spent a bit of time outside, to be honest. Folding caravan. Oh yeah, look at that. It all folded down to a thing. Gee, this old girl's brush painted. A 1949-50 standard Vanguard saloon. Willys. Look at the big nose on that bastard, eh? I got a school teacher that used to have one like that. Oh, there's a motorbike section too. Wow. It's got an LS in it. Dad's over there somewhere. There he is. Look at this ugly looking thing. What the hell is that? This is the electric Commodore. This used to be in a different spot, and it's a hybrid. So, concept. Eco Commodore. It's a Ford 4-cylinder 2-litre petrol with a 50 kilowatt electric motor, approximately 800 kilometres. And you used to get 650 to 700 kilometres out of a Ecotec. So, and if you had your V8 one right, you'd get up to 850 kilometres to a tank. I know I did. Just changing a few gear ratios. This thing was unusual. It actually has the Monaro roof on it, and the rear quarter panels and stuff. It was a bit of a mix mash between a sedan and a Monaro. I remember it's got a solar panel thing on the roof. It's completely different. Even though most people probably walk past it to start with, thinking that it's just a normal Commodore, but it's actually not. There was quite a few changes in the design of the actual body. So the Holden Volt. .4 litre petrol engine, 160 kilometres an hour. That is a Hyundai Getz. I'm not sure what the logo is in the front. I don't see a board anywhere around. Oh, here we go. It's a Blade. 2011. It's definitely a Hyundai Getz though. A Go-Go-Mobile. A G-O-G-G-O. Geez, they're tiny, aren't they? Far out. Cadillac. Rolls Royce. A Silver Ghost. Rolls Royce Silver Ghost. It's definitely not silver, and it can't be a ghost because I can see it there. Packard. Oof, there's some good cars on that side. We'll come back along there shortly. I say good cars, but some others might say shit boxes, but that's a personal opinion, I suppose. This little bloody thing. Zeta. 1960s were the golden eras for Australian car manufacturing. Successful for South Australia, white goods manufacturing. Different. Mini panel van. Datsun 260Z. Oh, troopy. Love the look of these things. They look wicked.
She's still camera shy. Her only master is Alec Crow, who has kept her since she was a pup.
That's a rig. The old diner. Pinball machine. FC special station wagon. I want one of these. Not entirely I like normally green cars, but not entirely sure of this green one. But I'd have it. Lowered on the deck, big wheels blowing out the bonnet. Thank you very much. Let's go to the drive-ins, eh? Genevieve by Technicolor. There we go. Sit down, cuddle up to the missus. Oh, Jesus! Can't really hear it. Turn the volume up, love, will you? Don't work. Cool. It's a shame the drive-ins are not going anymore. There is a couple in WA still going. I'm not sure about anywhere else. Put the two kids up the front. Mum and Dad at the back. And the table folds down. I think that they copied me. Pretty sure they copied me with stickers, not gonna lie. Look at this for a big girl Falcon. Access cab. For wheelchairs. Oh yeah, she's got the middle door opens up. It's a one big middle door. For people with disability. It's pretty cool. Telecom Australia. Can you imagine driving around in that? Olympics team sponsor. The world's largest mobile telephone. Look at that, and it's jammed up the back corner of the thing. Should be something special. There's the hall of motorbikes. Yeah, getting through this hall. We've got motorbikes over there. I'm not much of a motorbike fan, but I'll take a quick stroll through there. And then there seems to be another one out there, the 1920s garage. There's quite a few 1920s cars in here, but we'll go for a quick look out there as well before we head down and have a look at the last of the cars in the main hall. We'll go for a walk down here and have a look at some of these rigs. A Volvo P1800S, Alfa Romeo, a Volvo. Oh, look at this beast! Oh, GL sedan. That's a piece of fine motoring engineering. Leyland P76. Saab. Another GM. Look at this rig. Bedford. Mystery. Or Mystic Fantasy it's called. Look at the tear dropping on the aerials on the front guard. The side pipes. The fender flares. The bubbling rust. Shoosh. Oh, two shaggin' wagons. Look at this. I wonder if that's a genuine Sandman. Looks like it. Genuine Sandman, HX, 1976. Very nice. Wonder how many babies have been made in the back of that beast. It's got a tunnel ram on this one. We like tunnel rams at Piranha Motorsports. Midnight Express. It's got a big train mural on the side of it. It's pretty cool. Purpley blue colour. Purple there, blue here. Interesting. Look at that. pinnacle of finite engineering. Six cylinders of fury. What have we got here? It's a VQ Statesman 5 litre. What's the story behind this one? Armoured vehicle. Oh, okay. Transport the Prime Minister and visiting dignitaries in the mid-90s. Armoured.
Bulletproof glass and bulletproof panels in
That's
it.
pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I actually had a Premier's Statesman once upon a time, didn't I?
Cars.
Yeah.
New South Wales Premier.
2000 WB Statesman. A Holden Pizza. Turbo.
I've never seen one of them.
Piazza?
And Aussies
Yeah.
already put their badges on. There's Dad's
Australia
first
Post.
car there.
Which one?
The white one.
Oh, yeah.
Nice minor. 1000. 4-door. Said it was light blue.
Yeah, okay. Looks cool. A HP block with holes in it. It's got a hole in the block. Look at this beast. The Educator too,
V6 Chevy and
with a supercharge.
supercharged with gas.
Supercharged on gas. Now that's something to behold, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a TAFE kids built it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Something different.
Just a drag with something.
Yeah. Another HK Brome. An EH Special and an FJ. Look at that. That's cool. Well, I wandered around for a little bit after I turned the camera off and I found this bloke.
Yeah.
Walking through the motorbikes. Some Indians. A new Hudson. Douglas. More Indians. Ducatis. Kawasaki's. More Douglases. An Orionette. Triumph. Some of these beasts in here. Yamahas. Thunderbirds. Nortons.
Not a bloody Chevy, bloody
Richmond.
electric Chevy car from back in the early 90s. They're
Yeah.
supposed to have all been crushed.
Nimbus.
That one here.
Nuracar. A Scott. That's a Doc Brown one, that one. That's a great Scott. Levi, AGS, Rover, Rudge, Triumph, Solix. Look at the scooters. An Eagle, a Coventry Eagle. A Matchless. A Douglas, a Rudge. Look at these push bikes. Motorised push bikes. Martin Adams. A Rex Acme. Is that made by Disney or something? It does, doesn't it? It's a pretty cool looking kit. A Sunbeam, a Scott, a Flying Squirrel. The Flying Squirrel.
Yeah, that's a big.
Beast. Another racing bike. Panther, a Matchless. Oh, that's some pretty cool. Some Harleys. All around the side there looks like some Harleys. Some army ones. If I was going to get a Harley, I reckon I'd want to have it like an old army Harley, I reckon.
These are like the ones I was telling you in the packing cases.
Yeah.
That's a 51 model, very similar.
Yeah.
Flat-bed motor.
This is 1927. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Old slot car setup. Okay. Ford Model T. What's left of it? Volunteer project. Oh. So I wonder why you're up here. Bit weird. I want to know how they got it in here. They had to have come through. There's a sliding door just there. They would have had to have taken everything apart. Yeah, but it's a nice looking Riga. Why is it not down with the rest of them? Interesting. Nash.
Charles W. Nash. Previous president of General Motors began building cars under his own name in 1918.
There you go. Right, well I said we'd end up back down here. SLR 5000 L34. GDX. GDS. HT Monaro 350 GDS. Ooh,
That's what I wanted for my first car.
what, the GDS?
Many people use Cooper X. Twin fuel tanks. Twin Cardi 1200 75cc.
That there is a pinnacle of engineering, Dad.
I used to go like a shower of shit. They gave them things all told.
This is a one-of-a-kind Holden Commodore. Hmm. What is this thing being completely made out of fiberglass? Is this thing just about completely out of fiberglass? Someone's cut it right back to the bare shell and then made fiberglass panels of everything. That's weird because it looks like it's got metal further in. Crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. Cast in acrylic, and the objects are embedded in fiberglass by Andrew Jackson. Family, paper mache and paint by David Hawkins. Car was acquired by the museum in 1989. So it was done not long after the car was actually bloody nearly new.
Austin 7.
Mm.
Two people used to sit back. 25, Austin 7.
Well, you wouldn't want to exactly be travelling across the country in one, that's for sure. right next to each other. 19 psi in the front tyre,
26.
26 in the back. Make sure you get that right, peoples. So when you've got one of them, make sure you get it right, okay? The pinnacle of Ford engineering. Sorry to any of you Ford lovers. Holden Chevrolet Lumina VT styling buck. Now we couldn't call it just a Holden styling buck. It had to be a Holden Chevrolet styling buck. Interesting too, because if you have a look inside, those front seats are awfully familiar to a VS. Not a VT. The back ones are, those front seats, and it's left-hand drive. Whatever that is, car name or something. Name. Look at this, another pinnacle in Holden vehicle manufacturing. Not Holden, Australian vehicle manufacturing. Mitsubishi Magna. WB Holden Kingswood prototype.
Yes, the straight lights, the bumper come out like that and the tail lights come down.
Interesting. So it's actually a prototype. And it's manual. It's manual. You definitely didn't get a Statesman manual. And it's definitely WB because it's got the WB front end on it. Interesting.
A few dents to go with it. The corner's smashed in.
Yeah. What do we got here? A Holden Commodore. Yeah, it looks like it. VB. Holden Commodore SL sedan. Beautiful. Well, that was the National Birdwood Museum, Motor Museum. I hope you enjoyed it. It was actually a really good surprise to be able to get in there and find out that some of your cars that you've grown up with that are, you know, Australian icons are still living and in one spot, and I didn't realise they were all there. So thanks very much for joining us. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe and all that sort of stuff, and we'll see you on the next video.